Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Bookie Bashing. The NFL season is upon us. Our first 5 winners will be released this Saturday. Do not miss the action. Before all that, of course, we gave you the AFC preview yesterday. Gonna come at you with the NFC preview right now. As always, I am your host, Anthony Nicky Jr., alongside my gambling experts, Mr. Ace Berg and Joey Stacks. Ace, gotta feel good one day closer to that NFL season.
Oh, I'm getting excited, Tony. I'm getting more excited as the hours pass. We're almost back at the NFL season, and I cannot wait. And I mostly can't wait because of how great we did last season. Over 60% on everything we picked. I think this year we might even do better. I'm thinking we might shoot for the stars and hit 70.
Yeah, 53, 31, and 3 overall record last season. Joey Stacks, gotta agree with him, right?
Gotta agree with him. But Tone, look, I don't want just 70%. I don't want 80%, not 90%. I want 100%.
Gonna go with the LeBron style.
Got the big 3.
We're the big 3 in this industry is absolutely correct there, so I'll give it to you. Go LeBron style. Listen, perfection absolutely impossible, but if you strive for perfection, good chance you catch excellence along the way, and that's just what we do here at Bookie Bashing. Of course, 60% last season, over 80% on total plays. Don't miss this action, folks. If you buy today, you get the entire NFL season, week 1 through the playoffs, for a half-off discount. Of course, we're already giving you a great value. The only place on the industry where you got 3 of the experts coming together, seeing every angle, dissecting this game from every which possible way, and giving you the best picks available each Sunday. All these other sites, you got handicappers picking the same game but picking on opposite sides of each other. I don't know how you figure out the right guys to choose with. Here, we make it easy. We give you the 5 winners ourselves. But before all that, what's just around the corner, gonna hit you with the NFC preview. Of course, last season it was the Seattle Seahawks repeating as NFC champions. Looked like they'd have the Super Bowl rolling. Didn't hand the ball off. I'll say it forever. Didn't hand the ball off, get intercepted. But still, NFC champions, you gotta like them again, Stacks, to at least take the NFC West, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You gotta like them to take the NFC West. The competition there really last season, the Arizona Cardinals, the only team that was in that conversation, gave them a little bit of run for their money. I definitely see a drop-off there. You know, that squad is just a squad that plays defense. The offense isn't there for me. They don't have what it takes to go and put up all those points and put it all together. The Seattle Seahawks, you know, the defense, top in the NFL. And the offense, the one spot they were struggling, the tight end position, they go ahead and bring in a Jimmy Graham, who is arguably the #1 tight end red zone target in the NFL. So that's going to do nothing but make them a team that's even more 100% perfect, well-rounded.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be tough to defeat them. Love that Seattle defense. I think the Kerry Williams addition on the other side of corners, very underrated here. People have had a problem with how he handles himself sometimes, but here's a guy that I think when you get to Seattle and with that defense, you kind of fall in line. You know, you got so many leaders around you. You have the rest of the secondary, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, I love his size, Earl Thomas, just such a tough defense. Ace, anybody, does Arizona maybe stand a chance in the West?
I definitely think Arizona is the #2 seed in that division. But as far as battling with Seattle, I think Seattle essentially runs with it. The addition of Jimmy Graham makes them more well-rounded and a more diverse football team. And when you look at the point differentials in last season, they have the highest point differential between the leader of the pack and the second team in that division, in almost 130 points difference between them and the Cardinals last year. And I don't think any of those 3 teams really can compete with Seattle.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to top Seattle in the NFC West. Another division that's going to be tough to top that favorite is the NFC North. A lot of people liking them to kind of dethrone Seattle as the conference champions. And I look at this Packers team, solid all around. You know, solid enough defense, but Aaron Rodgers, I mean, you can't say enough good things about him. This guy's just flat out, he's a winner. And even with the loss of Jordy Nelson for the season, which I'm not going to devalue that at all, that's a big loss. But Stacks, anybody going to compete in the North?
No, I'm going to go ahead and say that that's their division as well. Obviously, losing Jordy Nelson, a big loss, but they have a guy in Randall Cobb who is just as capable. Those guys were neck and neck anyway as far as receiving talent. And then you bring in Devontae Adams, who I think is really going to step up, and he's going to be the one to really ultimately help fill that void. And then Aaron Rodgers, the guy is a genius. He can really make it work with whoever he's got, kind of like a Tom Brady. He mixes and matches, and he works with what he has, and he's that good to where as long as you give him a little bit of talent and guys who can fit the system and make the plays that they're being asked to make, he makes it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta love these Packers. I mean, I don't really see any way the Packers don't win the North. Don't see any way Seattle doesn't win the West. In a down division, of course, last year in the NFC, South Carolina wins 4 straight games to end the season, get to 8-8, make the playoffs. I think it could possibly be much of the same this year, Ace, where possibly an 8-8, 9-7 team gonna get that home playoff game in round 1.
Yeah, I definitely agree. When you're looking at point differentials, they were the only division that had all negatives in all 4 teams last year in the NFL. And I think that tells the story with this division because I don't think it's going to be much different. None of the teams really improved all that much. And when you look at a team like the Saints, they obviously lost a big playmaker in Jimmy Graham. You hope that Cooks can step up, but we all think that Drew Brees is taking a step or 2 back as he's getting older. Carolina obviously lost their #1 target, and Funchess, while he might be pretty good, he's definitely no Kelvin Benjamin. I think the Falcons is a question mark with Dan Quinn coming in. Was Dan Quinn really helping that Seattle team win as much, or was he just taking Pete Carroll's system and helping them along the way? I'm not really sure. I think that by week 8 or 10, we'll have a much better picture of who's going to win. And personally, I wouldn't be shocked if Jameis Winston led these Bucs to 7 or 8 wins and snuck them into the playoffs.
Yeah, it could kind of go anywhere. I definitely don't see the same talent on that New Orleans team as there was in years past. Love Brandon Cook. Think he has great upside, but until you prove to me you can be a #1, I'm not going to count you as a #1. On the other side, when I look at these Falcons, Matty Ryan, I personally like the addition of Dan Quinn. I think he's going to change the tempo there. Whether or not he led Seattle to victory, I think when you understand the culture of how to win, you can change a culture in Atlanta. I like Devontae Freeman, 2nd year back out of Florida State. And I think Julio Jones might be one of your top 3 receivers in the NFL this season. Stacks?
I agree with you 100%. I have him at the very top. I think he's going to finish as the #1 receiver. He's got a great quarterback in Matt Ryan, a veteran who's been there before, knows how to win games, and the offensive firepower they have is just, enough to get them over the hump. The defense has struggled in years past. Hopefully they can get it together a little bit here, but they have enough firepower on offense to make up for it. You bring in Dan Quinn, Mike Smith, he had to go. The guy chokes. He doesn't have what it takes to. He makes stupid decisions. He needed to go, and this is a big step forward for them. And I think that's going to ultimately get them the division.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a team probably backing into the playoffs. Like we said, 8-8, 9-7. Only going to be one team definitely to make the playoffs in that division. But I think for the early season, gotta like the Falcons as your NFC South favorite. So for as weak as I think that South's going to be, I think equally will be as strong the NFC East. Really a division where I think 3 teams could make the playoffs, possibly all of them making the playoffs. I think it's going to be a slugfest till the end. Going to beat up on each other a little bit. Personally, like the Eagles, I love what Chip Kelly's doing over there. Listen, no one player is bigger than that team. It's about finding system fits, and I think he has those now in year 3 for these Eagles. On the defensive side of the ball, listen, they might not show up because of the points that they're going to give up, but that's not necessarily on the defense. This Eagles team runs a high-tempo offense. Sometimes they go 3 and out in 15 seconds a punt. Defense is on the field for a while, but I think they're going to stop the run a lot better this season than in years past. Love Kendricks and Kiko Alonso in the middle. Great sideline-to-sideline speed. Like D'Amico Ryans in there rotating in and out. I think Byron Maxwell is a very nice bring-in. I don't know if he's necessarily a great #1, but I think he's better than what they've had in the past. And personally, I'm a huge Eric Rowe guy. Rookie out of Utah. I think that was a great pickup by these Birds. Stacks, definitely a slugfest. Who you thinking takes that NFC East?
It's definitely a tough division. I have to give the edge to the Eagles, though. Like you said, Chip Kelly really looks fantastic. He's got these guys all in the right place. They're all playing together. He uses them like chess pieces. Somebody's out, he's using what he has. He's bringing more guys in. The guy's a maniac, but it works. You have to love the way Bradford's playing. You got Jordan Matthews, Nelson Aguilar, who I think has a decent shot at winning Rookie of the Year. I really see him stepping up. And then you bring in a guy like DeMarco Murray, Ryan Matthews, Sproles. The offense is so dynamic. It's unbelievable. These Dallas Cowboys are no joke, though. Last season they finished 12-4. You have to see them going somewhere close to that this season. They're going to go toe-to-toe with these Eagles. It's going to be an absolute slugfest. And then you got the Giants. The Redskins I completely write off. All kinds of issues at quarterback. That team doesn't even enter my radar. But the Giants, Tom Coughlin, great coach. You got to love Eli Manning, a smart quarterback. He's taken them there before. He's won it for them before. You bring back Victor Cruz. You got a stud breaking out in Odell Beckham. This team can definitely score points and win football games, and they're going to do that. And it's going to be a really close pack here, but I have the Eagles leading the way.
Yeah, and again, I think 3 teams could possibly make the playoffs. If these Giants can stay healthy, I love Tom Coughlin, man. He brings the team back around. Amukamura comes back. You got Rogers Cromartie at corner. That's huge for that Giants secondary. And then for these Cowboys, listen, you lose DeMarco Murray to the Eagles. People are making a big deal out of that, but I truly believe anybody you put in that Cowboys backfield is going to be able to run the football. They were called crazy when they kept drafting offensive linemen in the first round over the last couple of years, but you get Travis Frederick, you get a Zach Martin, and this line, one of the top lines of football now out there in Dallas.
Absolutely. I think they are the top line with Frederick and Martin leading the way. You got Tyron Smith on the side, and a couple nice veteran pieces in Leary and Free also helping that line. Don't forget, La'el Collins they brought in. Essentially should have been a first-round pick the last year, but had some off-field problems. People were a little scared. They bring him in. So essentially they got another first-round pick on that line just as depth. I love the Cowboys this year. I think that between them and the Eagles, they're 1A and 1B in the NFC East, and both top-tier teams in the whole NFC picture. Now, when I look at the Cowboys' defense, though, I think that's where they're really continuing to take a step forward. You bring in Greg Hardy, who is one of the elite pass rushers in this league. Sure, he might miss 4 games, but that's all right. He'll be there for the majority of the season. Sean Lee, when healthy, is one of the best linebackers in there. Orlando McClain has had just a revival of his career, and it's been great to see. The guy changed off the field and on the field, and it's really shown in his play, and he's become an elite linebacker in this league. I believe that despite Orlando Scandrick going down, that secondary is still going to continue to be good. I love Byron Jones, the rookie they brought in. His measurables are unbelievable. Watch that kid jump and run and tell me that he's not going to be an elite playmaker in the NFL. I love this Cowboys team, but like I said, them and the Eagles are neck and neck, with the Giants just slightly behind them, I think.
Really could be 3 teams. Can't guarantee it, though. There's always going to be that competitive team getting for that 5-6 spot. Stacks, who else you think fights for that wild card slot in the NFC?
Wild card wise, I'd have to give it to the Minnesota Vikings. I really think that this team, between the defense and you have Bridgewater really stepping up and proving to be a smart young quarterback who can do it with his legs, brings another dynamic to the game, and you got Adrian Peterson back. I really think that they can make a strong push for that, as well as the Arizona Cardinals. I can see them up towards the top as well.
Yeah, love Mike Zimmer, what he's doing in Minnesota. Don't necessarily know if they're going to turn that corner yet, but I like it. Ace, anybody other Minnesota, the Cardinals, like those Eagles and Cowboys? That pretty much round out, we think, the wild card?
That really does round it out for me. Personally, I do think that the NFC East puts 3 teams into the playoffs, but if they don't, and if one of the teams slides back a little, I do think Minnesota or the Cardinals, led by Carson Palmer, a.k.a. Linguini Arm, if he's healthy, can sneak themselves into the playoffs on the back end. And I think that rounds it out for us.
Yeah, it's very tough for 3 teams in the same division to make the playoffs because they're going to beat up on each other twice a season. There's no way to go around that. So having said that, though, I think you got the Locks and the Packers and Seahawks to win their divisions. We're going to roll with the Falcons in that NFC South. Like them to kind of back their way into the playoffs. Not going to be a tough division. And then in the NFC East, going to roll with those Eagles, and we're going to say Giants, Cowboys, all 3 possibly getting in. Just like we said in the NFC West, 3 teams can get in. It would be the first time in a while any of that would happen. It's going to wrap things up for the NFL previews, AFC and NFC. Of course, that just means that the regular season is upon us. It's very exciting. Of course, last year, 53-31-3. Overall record, over 80% in total plays. If you were with us last year, I know you're coming back for more If you weren't on the ship, ride us to the finish line here. We will bring you consistency. 5 winners coming at you next Sunday, and make sure to tune in on Thursday for your first free pick winner and get a little bit of excitement to see what's going on before we release our 5 winning picks. Of course, sign up now. You can get the entire season from week 1 through the NFL playoffs for a discount of half off. That's right, half off. We're already giving you great value on these picks, and now we are offering it to you for half off on the entire season. For Ace Berg and Joey Stacks, I am Anthony Nicky Jr. telling you to have a great Labor Day. Enjoy that last holiday weekend before we start making money in week 1 of the NFL season. We'll see you here next time at www.bookiebashingats.com.